On Monday, President Biden signed an executive order that would encourage the use of Made in America products. I will read to you the executive order as follows. Executive Order on ensuring the future is made in all of America by all of America's workers. By the authority vested in me as President by the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America, it is hereby ordered as follows. Section 1. Policy. It is the policy of my administration that the United States government should, consistent with applicable law, use terms and conditions of federal financial assistance, awards, and federal procurements to maximize the use of goods, products, and materials produced in and services offered in the United States. The United States government should, whenever possible, procure goods, products, materials, and services from sources that will help American businesses compete in strategic industries and help America's workers thrive. Additionally, to promote an accountable and transparent procurement policy, each agency should vest waiver issuance authority in senior agency leadership where appropriate and consistent with applicable law. Section 2. Definitions. A. Agency means any authority of the United States that is an agency under Section 3502, subsection 1 of Title 44 United States Code, other than those considered to be independent regulatory agencies as defined in Section 3502, subsection 5 of Title 44 United States Code. B. Made in America laws means all statutes, regulations, rules, and executive orders relating to federal financial assistance towards or federal procurement, including those that refer to Buy America or Buy American, that require or provide a preference for the purchase or acquisition of goods, products, or materials produced in the United States, including iron, steel, and manufactured goods offered in the United States. Made in America laws include laws requiring domestic preference for maritime transport, including the Merchant Marine Act of 1920, Public Law 66-261, also known as the Jones Act. C. Waiver means an exception from or waiver of Made in America laws or the procedures and conditions used by an agency in granting an exception from or waiver of Made in America laws. Section 3. Review of agency action inconsistent with administration policy. A. The head of each agency shall, as soon as practicable and as appropriate and consistent with applicable law, including the Administrative Procedure Act, consider suspending, revising, or rescinding those agency actions that are inconsistent with the policy set forth in Section 1 of this order. B. The head of each agency shall, as soon as practicable and as appropriate and consistent with applicable law, including the Administrative Procedure Act, consider proposing any additional agency actions necessary to enforce the policy set forth in Section 1 of this order. Section 4. Updating and centralizing the Made in America waiver process. A. The Director of the Office of Management and Budget shall establish within OMB the Made in America Office. The Made in America Office shall be headed by a Director of the Made in America Office, Made in America Director, who shall be appointed by the Director of OMB. B. Before any agency grants a waiver, and unless the OMB director provides otherwise, the granting agency, shall provide the Made in America director with a description of its proposed waiver and a detailed justification for the use of goods, products, or materials that have not been mined, produced, or manufactured in the United States. 1. Within 45 days of the date of the appointment of the Made in America Director, and as appropriate thereafter, the Director of OMB, through the Made in America Director, shall 1. Publish a list of the information that granting agencies shall include when submitting such descriptions of proposed waivers and justifications to the Made in America Director, and 2. Publish a deadline not to exceed 15 business days by which the Director of OMB, through the Made in America Director, either will notify the head of the agency that the Director of OMB, through the Made in America Director, has waived each review described in subsection C of this section, or will notify the head of the agency in writing of the result of the review. 2. To the extent permitted by law and consistent with national security and executive branch confidentiality interests, descriptions of proposed waivers and justifications submitted to the Made in America Director by granting agencies shall be made publicly available on the website established pursuant to Section 6 of this order. C. The Director of OMB, through the Made in America Director, shall review each proposed waiver submitted pursuant to subsection B of this section, except where such review has been waived as described in subsection B 1(2) of this section. 1. If the Director of OMB, through the Made in America Director, determines that issuing the proposed waiver would be consistent with applicable law and the policy set forth in Section 1 of this order, the Director of OMB, through the Made in America Director, shall notify the granting agency of that determination in writing. 2. If the Director of OMB, through the Made in America Director, determines that issuing the proposed waiver would not be consistent with applicable law or the policy set forth in Section 1 of this order, the Director of OMB, through the Made in America Director, shall notify the granting agency of the determination and shall return the proposed waiver to the head of the agency for further consideration, providing the granting agency with a written explanation for the determination. 1. If the head of the agency disagrees with some or all of the bases for the determination and return, the head of the agency shall so inform the Made in America Director in writing. 2. To the extent permitted by law, disagreements or conflicts between the Made in America Director and the head of any agency shall be resolved in accordance with procedures that parallel those set forth in Section 7 of Executive Order 12866 of September 30th, 1993, Regulatory Planning and Review, with respect to the Director of the Office of Information and Regulatory Affairs within OMB. D. When a granting agency is obligated by law to act more quickly than the review procedures established in this section allow, the head of the agency shall notify the Made in America Director as soon as possible and, to the extent practicable, comply with the requirements set forth in this section. Nothing in this section shall be construed as displacing agencies' authorities or responsibilities under law. There are further sections to this executive order, however, they go beyond the scope of this video. If you would like to read the rest of the executive order, further reading is in the description below.